Accused of making the trip from Jacksonville to Tampa to kill Jones in what investigators describe as an ongoing gang war. They say she and her boyfriend.
Pardon me. Let's see what we got going on.
Prosecutors carried out the role they said Alicia Andrews played in the scenes. Alicia went into this entire situation thinking that her involvement would stay hidden. However, little did she know that her messages, the intent, the scheme, were all going to be exposed in court. At 17 years old, Alicia Andrews was shown in court texting that Julio needed to die. Prosecutors later argued she already held deep hostility toward Julio years before the murder. However, the defense argued that the messages were old, and it was just passed between teenagers in Jacksonville who were watching the whole drill scene spiral out of control, not evidence of an actual murder plot. Now, this is Isaiah Chance, a documented ATK gang member, widely known by the street name Betazay, and one of the defendants convicted in the murder of Jacksonville rapper Charles Jones, better known as Julio. Isaiah Chance would eventually get sentenced to life in prison, but of course, Isaiah didn't act alone. He acted alongside a group that eventually killed Julio, and a part of that group was Alicia Andrews. At the time of the murder, Alicia Andrews was 21 years old, but she was actually the girlfriend of Isaiah Chance. She was there the night Julio was killed in Tampa, alongside the other defendants involved in the case. So Alicia wasn't just some random bystander who happened to be around the situation. She was actually involved in this entire thing. Investigators would later uncover messages, allegedly showing that Alicia was helping put pieces of the entire trip together and behind the scenes. Just 2 days before Julio was murdered, Alicia was allegedly trying to arrange an Airbnb in Tampa for the group. According to court documents, the search warrant executed on Alicia Andrews' Instagram account, Oh That's Red, uncovered messages sent on June 21st, 2024, where Alicia was asking somebody to book an Airbnb for her in Tampa, Florida for June 22nd, 2024, which would end up being the exact same weekend Julio was killed. She was involved in almost every crucial step leading up to this hit, and despite all that, she later sat inside the courtroom and claimed she knew nothing. Alicia Andrews was born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. She attended Raines High School before transferring to Andrew Jackson High School. Graduating in May of 2021, she worked regular jobs, Amazon, Victoria's Secret, even worked as a substitute teacher, and she lived at home with her parents. All accounts, she was just a normal 21-year-old. That same summer after graduating, she began dating Isaiah Chance. That connection was simple. He had a sister she knew from Raines High School. That was the connection. Isaiah Chance was a documented member of ATK, one of Jacksonville's most notorious street gangs. He was known to investigators who monitored the gang and its activities. He was connected to some of the most violent figures in Jacksonville's ongoing gang war. But when Alicia Andrews started dating him that summer, he was just a guy she knew through his sister. And in the beginning, she described him as a good guy.
When you started to date Isaiah Chance, how was your relationship with him?
In the beginning, it was good, I would say. And then he changed over time once we got comfortable with each other.
Then things slowly started changing. According to testimony, Isaiah became controlling. He allegedly monitored her Instagram, told her what to post, what to delete, and even what to wear. Alicia testified that when she pushed back, the relationship would turn violent.
He drove me to like a park and he stopped and he was like, let me see your phone. So I said no. But he ended up grabbing it and he said I'm gonna unlock it and I was gonna unlock it. And that's when he repeatedly hit me to unlock the phone.
The first time Isaiah allegedly became violent was in 2021, and then, according to testimony, it allegedly happened again in 2022, and again in 2024. Alicia testified that Isaiah broke her phone multiple times, blocked her when he got angry, and came back like nothing ever happened. But despite all that, Alicia never fully left. She never reported him, and over the course of those years, through the manipulation, the control, the violence, and the constant on and off relationship, Alicia Andrews slowly became embedded in Isaiah Chance's world. Honestly, one of the biggest questions surrounding this entire case when it comes to Alicia is what exactly motivated Alicia Andrews to allegedly involve herself in all this very dark stuff, like all this gang stuff. It's not really normal for a woman to be wrapped up in all this thing. According to prosecutors, they say that Alicia wasn't just some random outsider who crossed paths with these people. Over time, she had allegedly become deeply attached to Isaiah Chance's world. A well-prosecutors described as being surrounded by gang politics, retaliation, violence, and loyalty. And somewhere along the way, investigators believe Alicia stopped acting like somebody, simply watched from the sidelines, and allegedly became part of the operation itself. Now, the story, of course, starts in Jacksonville, Florida, on June 22nd, 2024, when the group allegedly decided to make the drive down to Tampa. Out of everybody involved in this case, Alicia Andrews and Sean Gaffney were reportedly the only two who were not argued by prosecutors to be documented gang members. However, that doesn't mean Alicia Andrews played a small role in what happened. What happened that night initially looked like a normal night. A silver Chevy Cruze runs a red light on North McKinley Drive before pulling into the parking lot of a Home 2 Suites hotel at high speed. And inside the vehicle was a 29-year-old woman from Jacksonville. Her name is Alicia Andrews, and she was with her boyfriend. She had been in that car for hours. Prosecutors argue that the car she was in was confirming exactly where Julio and his entourage were parked. The car passed the target's vehicle once, then turned around and passed them again and left. Moments later, three masked gunmen two AR-style rifles with fully automatic Glock, killing 26-year-old rapper Charles Jones, known to the world as Julio, and wounding 8 others. Alicia Andrews, at this point, is already gone. To understand what happened in that parking lot, we have to go back 2 days earlier. Alicia Andrews is in Jacksonville. The murder hasn't happened yet, but the plan is already in motion. Investigators would later obtain a search warrant for Alicia Andrews' Instagram account that they found was very significant. On June 21st, 2 full days before the murder, Alicia Andrews for the fall night. Specifically requested something with 2
Equip it.
and she did not want to book
This.
the Airbnb was originally booked under one of the defendants in the case, and it was located approximately 1.3 miles where Julio would be killed. It was booked from June 22nd to June 24th, 2024. But here's where it gets interesting. A cash app was seen as Isaiah Chance's, but it was broken. Therefore, the cash app account with the money Mr. Rachel Moore revealed a charge of $361 paid to Airbnb around the same time. The booking confirmation report on Rashad Murphy's phone and involved. So the Airbnb was booked under Rashad Murphy's name, but it was paid for by Isaiah Chance, Alicia's boyfriend. The prosecutors argue Alicia Andrews helped put the Tampa trip together from the very beginning. Her name was nowhere to be found on the paperwork itself, but she would still be connected to all of it. Eventually, she was caught on ring camera footage going in and out of the Airbnb. And before any of that happened, before they ever got into those cars, the operation was already being assembled. Surveillance cameras at Sean Gafflight's own house captured Isaiah Chance and Gafflight loading bags into the black Chevy Impala that afternoon. Bags big enough to carry rifles. They weren't packing for a party or not like that. They were packing for murder. On the afternoon of June 22nd, 2024, the group left Jacksonville, traveling south toward Tampa in 2 separate vehicles. Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews were in a silver 2018 Chevy Cruze. In a separate vehicle, a black 2008 Chevy Impala, were Sean Gafflight, Rashad Murphy, and Joe Yelmer. License plate readers tracked both vehicles making the same stops at the same time. On 4 separate occasions, both cars were captured by the same readers within seconds of each other. They were not traveling separately. They were leaving together on time, according to the news. At approximately 7:55 p.m., Alicia Andrews arrived at the Airbnb. She was the first one captured on the ring camera at the front door, walking in with a phone already prepared. The Airbnb had a ring camera at the front door, but the owner confirmed there was a back door with a marked camera. Now, Fulvio had spent the last few days leading up to this birthday celebration, broadcasting his location on Instagram. No bueno, telling his followers exactly where he would be and when. He was scheduled to make appearances at 2 Tampa clubs that night, Caesar's Gentlemen's Club and Truth 18 nightclub. Both had been publicly advertised on his Instagram account, and the defendants were watching every post. In the early hours of June 23rd, the operation began. The silver Cruze moved first, carrying Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews. They arrived at Caesar's and got out of the vehicle. But Isaiah Chance was not using his phone. He was actually using Alicia's phone. Investigators identified the phone Isaiah Chance was seeing using on surveillance cameras outside of the vehicle as belonging to Alicia Andrews. Call detail records then showed that while they were at Caesar's, that phone, Alicia's phone, was actively communicating with Sean Gafflight's phone. And Gafflight was, of course, in the black Chevy Impala. Their phone became a key communication point between the two vehicles that night. After the crews confirmed Fulio's location at Caesars, the Black Impala arrived at the location. Both vehicles then followed Fulio's entourage to Cruise 18. The same operation played out again. The cruise locates, the Impala follows. And on 3 separate occasions throughout that night, Alicia Andrews' phone shared its live location directly with Sean Gathwright's phone. But Gathwright wasn't only relying on Alicia's phone for information, because between 1:32 a.m. and 2:25 a.m., Sean was messaging a woman on his phone, asking her to contact someone who's actually inside Fulio's entourage to get real-time location updates from inside. He stopped messaging her the moment the crews had eyes on Fulio outside Caesars. This operation obviously had layers, a bunch of layers, like some onions. So Alicia wasn't just a passenger, she was an active part of this operation, which was murder, right? And she wasn't even the only one feeding information that night. After Cruise 18, Fulio and his entourage headed to the Home 2 Suites Hotel on McKinley Drive. At 4:37 a.m., the silver cruise ran a red light and pulled into that parking lot at high speed. It drove straight along the south side of the building, passing directly by Fulio's parked vehicles. Then it made a U-turn, and it passed them again, then a left. The cruise was confirming the target's exact position one final time before the shooter used in. 1 minute later, at 4:38 a.m., 3 shooters exited the Black Impala and began moving toward the victims on foot. A Tesla camera captured all 3 of them walking past it to reach the victims. They were masked, they were armed. Shooter 1 carried a collect pistol with an extended magazine and fired a fully automatic with his left hand. Investigators would later identify Shooter 1 as Rashad Murphy. The night before the murder, surveillance footage from the Jacksonville Walmart captured Rashad Murphy wearing the exact same clothing. The dark hoodie, the black jeans with a slip in the left knee, the military-style boots. Rashad Murphy is left-handed, which is kind of rare for a shooter, right? Shooters 2 and 3 carried AR-style rifles, each with brass captures. And one of those shooters was, of course, Sean Gathwright. Eventually, they opened fire. 31 9mm shell casings hit the ground, the only evidence left behind because the rifles had collected their own casings. Fulio was shot and killed inside his Dodge Charger. 3 others were wounded. By the time the first shot was fired, Alicia Andrews and Isaiah Chance were already driving away. And hours after the murder, the defendants returned to the Airbnb. At approximately 2:09 p.m., roughly 10 hours after the shooting, Isaiah Chance stepped out of the front door of the Airbnb briefly. He was holding a champagne flute in his left hand. Messages sent from Sean Gathwright's phone that afternoon read, "I'm coming home. My thirsty French. Have a bottle of Don Julio today." And investigators noted that sipping on Don Julio is a known phrase of disrespect specifically directed at Julio within the Jacksonville neighborhood. This wasn't a coincidence, it was a message. Alicia Andrews was seen leaving the Airbnb that afternoon, wearing the same clothes she had on during the surveillance the night before. She, Isaiah Chance, and Rashad Murphy took an Uber back to Jacksonville, straight to Sean Gathwright's house, where his own surveillance cameras captured all 3 of them stepping out the car. Meanwhile, the cleanup was already underway. Sean Gathwright drove the Black Impala to a family member's house in Polk County. Surveillance cameras there captured him wiping down the vehicle's door handles with a rag. He transferred multiple bags into a separate vehicle, a gold Toyota 4Runner, and drove back to Jacksonville. Those bags were later found to contain rifle ammunition, spent rifle casings, and Glock parts. Abel Murphy drove the cruise back to Jacksonville. Rashad Murphy, who had deliberately left his own phone in Jacksonville and traveled to Tampa with no phone of his own, was caught 3 days later in Georgia behind the wheel of the cruise. When police attempted to stop him, he jumped out of the car and hit the dash. The operation had been meticulous, coordinated, planned to the smallest detail, and Alicia Andrews, the female demon, had been part of it from the very beginning. On June 27, 2024, investigators executed a search warrant at Isaiah Chance's house. Alicia Andrews was actually there. She agreed to speak to them after being read her Miranda rights, and she lied to investigators. She told them that she and Isaiah had gone to Tampa just to party. She said that they went to the front doors of both clubs to ask how much it would cost to get in. Surveillance cameras at the front doors of both clubs proved that was a lie. They admitted to being in the cruise at the Home 2 Suites parking lot, but this claim they were just lost and turning around, and she denied knowing Fulio and his entourage was there. They admitted to letting Isaiah use her phone.
Run DMZ, baby.
What he was communicating about. But perhaps the most telling detail is this. They identified Isaiah Chance as the one driving the cruise while it was tracking Fulio's movements. She put him behind the wheel, She confirmed the phone he was using was hers, and then she said that she had no idea what any of them meant. A 21-year-old woman in a car in Tampa at 4 a.m. Following a rapper, her phone had been tapping all night, and she had no idea. She was caught lying multiple times during that interview. Over a month after the murder, Alicia Andrews was arrested alongside Isaiah Chance at a residence in Jacksonville. He was charged with first-degree premeditated murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. He pleaded not guilty, but the evidence told a completely different story. The phone departed Jacksonville at approximately 4:30 p.m. on June 22nd and arrived at the Airbnb in Tampa at approximately 7:50 p.m., placing her at every location she was later seen on camera. The phone tracked to McDonald's before they went to Caesars. First surveillance cameras showed her in the front passenger seat of the cruise with Gabriel Murphy driving. The phone tracked the Caesars, the Troop 18, to the homicide scene, back to the Airbnb, and finally to Sean Gaslight's house in Jacksonville. Every single location, every single time her phone was there. And on 3 separate occasions that night, confirmed when Apple iCloud warned, the phone shared its live location with Sean Gaslight's phone while they were following Julio's entourage. She had also been the one to initiate the Airbnb booking. She had someone else book it under a different name. When it ended up under Rashad Murphy's name, paid for by Isaiah Chance, her boyfriend, to create a paper trail that pointed away from her. And that was, of course, not an accident. Alicia Andrews went to trial in October 2025. She took the stand in her own defense and told the jury she had no knowledge of any murder plot, that she was just a girlfriend, except that she was a victim of domestic violence. She was too afraid of Isaiah Chance to say no to anything.
Sometimes.
I think you said in your direct examination that people can't really understand because they don't know.
I said people wouldn't understand a domestic violence relationship, but you would think, why don't you leave? Why don't you walk away? It's not that easy unless you're in it.
The prosecution believed that she was not a gang member, but they argued that this was beside the point. And they ran down the list of the things she did, everything from the Airbnb booking, from her handing Isaiah her phone, to coordinate with the shooters, to her being in the car that circled through the Julio's vehicles in that parking lot moments before he was killed. Her phone had been the communication bridge between the surveillance car and the kill car all night long, and that was very, very hard to deny. And after all of it, while sitting in jail awaiting trial, she was still calling Isaiah Chance 5 to 10 times a day through illegal three-way calls, still messaging him through the jail kiosk, still discussing her kids with him, still protecting him. When her own attorneys told her to stop, she told Isaiah's mother she didn't care what her lawyer said. She was going to keep calling.
Not protecting you.
You are still calling him and communicating with him, aren't you?
Yes, it's not protecting you.
So much so that you call
DMZ, baby.
Yes, I feel like that's the best way to do it.
On June 27, 2025, while her trial was still ongoing, she sent a message that read, "Half the witnesses are dead. We're listening in Jacksonville. They don't solve anything. I'm just lost because this is all pointless." Obviously, this is not the message of a woman who was forced into something against her will. That's the message of someone who knew exactly what they were doing. On October 31st, 2025, after nearly 4 hours of deliberation, the jury returned their verdict. Alicia Andrews was found guilty of manslaughter, not of first-degree murder, not of conspiracy. The jury acquitted her of that charge entirely.
The jury found as follows: testified one, the defendant is guilty of manslaughter,
The four men, Isaiah Chance, Sean Gaslight, Sean Murphy, and Gabriel Murphy, were tried separately. And on May 15, 2026, all 4 men were found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. As for Alicia Andrews, she still hasn't been sentenced. Her attorneys got the original trial judge removed from the case, arguing judicial misconduct. They have since petitioned the court to overturn her conviction entirely, but grant her a new trial. The sentencing has been delayed with no confirmed date set. The legal battle is ongoing. However, in the middle of all this was a victim. Julio was 26 years old. He was in Tampa celebrating his birthday. Alicia Andrews, 21 years old, was supposed to be from Fairfax along for the night. Much like the messages to Big Brother, she had handed over her phone, so so the shooters could all coordinate. Now she was not the shooter, she was not a gang member, not the one who pulled and pulled the trigger. However,
Nothing
a
can stop me. I'm all the way up.
critical part of the operation. He was the setup team, and the jury agreed she
My
was more
older,
important.
she's sharp.
But you may have
My
described her
mind
like one
is
of
sharper.
the knows like speaks nicely. You choose. So, what do you guys think about the female DNA setup team? Felicia Andrews. That's kind of catchy, right? You walk into that courtroom facing first-degree murder charges and walk out convicted of manslaughter on set.
Demons, yokai, and villains. They all fall by my blade. Just
We'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay
So
strong.
apparently she's gonna be meeting her top donor, and I've seen a couple of clips of this video, and it was on TikTok.
Oh, me too.
Boy, oh boy, is it
Save the day. Morbius.
I mean, just looking at her body language in the 30
It got
seconds
weirder
clip
from there.
that I've seen,
I'll tell you about it sometime.
she's absolutely disgusted
Step
by
aside.
this guy. She absolutely hates this guy. She wishes
The battle
Oh,
starts in
what the hell?
5,
Quit
4,
here.
3,
the repulsion
2,
of just her
1.
body alone. It gets
You have to
awkward.
securing the mission area.
He's out his wallet and gives every dollar that he makes
Always
to
glad
her
to be
so that
back
she
home.
can have a life for
Even if
herself.
home is
She
currently
doesn't
being
even
run by one of the
care.
worst
She
criminals I've ever
absolutely
known.
hates her. But it doesn't even matter.
Watch out, kid. Headed our way.
this should
It
keep
doesn't
us
even matter because they're bound by addiction. One is addicted to money and fame. The other is addicted to this fear of that. But either way, they
out of sight.
Might as well try to sneak some kills.
Farewell. Out of sight.
I don't really want to talk about
Here they come. Sayonara. Stick to hunting. I don't give up so easily.
Are you guys dead out right now? Like, I don't know.
No, like it's literally dead out.
Oh.
Like most of them are like.
I ain't tanking. It's a quick match. I don't really care.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
I don't give up so easily.
How many wanks have you had, Alex? What would you say? About 1,000. So okay, so how many wanks a day?
Better stop that vehicle.
Human magic. I don't give up so easily.
Two shots, huh?
Wanted something physically, and as a man, I can at least understand that because I understand your natural urges. I don't
And you're right here with us, sucking. Who cares, man? This is quick match.
have a man that like is giving a woman hundreds of thousands of dollars just for like a digital message. You're not even talking to this person in person. Like at some point, like women used to want connection, and men used to want connection. Nowadays,
Farewell.
so like, I don't know what it is, but now it's
They made it halfway. Stop them.
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Better stop that vehicle.
Very impressive. So,
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a little, got a little too much coffee in me. Meh.
When you were out there.
Shit backing up though.
But like previous to like today, like months.
Tremble before fast. 2 shots. That's crazy.
I have reawakened.
You didn't just follow me. It didn't pop up. But I speak English. Oh, this yeah, it didn't pop up, so I don't know if you really followed me. I'm an English speaker.
The enemy has arrived. That's better.
Yeesh! Yeesh!
You stop them in their tracks.
Look who just showed up.
Only 60 seconds left.
You're not actually going to the gym. Don't say that that's a part of your daily routine. Be honest with
She's good shot. Good shot. Yeah, this game's pretty chill. I like it sometimes
I'm back.
when I got good teammates.
Body and soul.
Stay strong. It's almost over.
Judge, jury, executioner!
This is real firepower.
10 seconds. Better stop that vehicle.
Okay, you know what, man?
Your dog is suffering.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. That's a yes. Out of sight. You're mine.
Nice counter, man. That's messed up that could soak that up though. That's not even an ult. Regular old ability.
Another epic victory.
Or they might be a little less socially awkward. Giving these women who hate you money to finance their lives. And you're not even talking to the woman. You're
Sometimes.
probably talking to some dude in like Malaysia or something that they've outsourced all of
But I stream this game.
the talking to all of the messages. Because I guess these women are making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month off of this stuff. They don't have the time, and they will not be willing to trust to message each of you individually. So you're talking to some dude. I think that's weird.
Sustain yourself, and day trade, and with our, but who do you live with? You have your own place? I have my own place.
Just laughing at the guy that
So you just kind of like
tries
put
to
it
like hide it. He's just like laughing.
Are you registered on like .is or anything?
Pick your hero.
What is that?
Or villain. I'm not judging.
Like incels?
No.
No? Okay.
I love that Victor thought that he was just gonna know what the incel form was.
I'm good.
Like,
I don't
the
need any
Victor
digital art.
character knows more about the incel life than this guy who
Not right now.
stereotypically would be considered one, right? So it's just like this is.
Thank you,
what
though.
world are we living in? What reality is this? This is hilarious to see it all in one place.
Okay. Do you think that
My
when you're
aura
doing
is
it's like
sharp.
something that's
My mind
admirable
is
to
sharper.
be replicated by young men?
If you have friends who do it, yeah.
No, it's funny because I think that the Victor would say the same thing about his lifestyle.
I
even
will
though
not rest until I return to my world
30
once.
seconds
No
before your
thanks.
attack. Get ready.
But I don't agree with his prescriptions. Obviously, because
Penny Parker invited me to watch a kaiju movie with her recently.
Get social
That
approval is insane.
destroying
But
Tokyo.
to say that it doesn't
Was it
work
you?
is just start to believe it. And there's a funny thing, like I said at the beginning, when we
No.
were talking about, like, the
Your
guy who-
skills are much
that,
more
the guy
brilliant.
that looks like ridiculous. And a lot of people don't
The
want
battle
that. Like,
starts in
I was
5,
commenting of people
4,
like, what Leviticus
3,
is rude, and it's
2,
just so much
1.
fun because he's basically-
All you need to do is capture the mission area.
The
Got it?
point is to show you
You're
that
mine.
as a
Shame
person,
that these beings
you
have not
can
yet
be
evolved
as long
beyond
as
such
people find
petty
you attractive,
squabbles.
and women and society will still tolerate it.
I just opened my Twitter and saw you making out with like 4 different girls in there.
Feel them getting closer. My healing factor can't keep up. Some assistance, please.
Mission area is yours to capture now.
Well, it's like, okay, but maybe no, I don't even know their names. It's like, but I love you. So how does that compare? It's like, you know,
That's not. No.
I understand. I said some girls you could do what you want, but I love you.
On with the hill, brother.
That's it.
Lines in place.
This should keep me safe.
I'm never leaving
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
I'm never leaving you, but I want to like
Capture the mission area.
Beautiful, baby.
Like that because it holds up the mirror of what society actually approves of. And the reason why people don't like it is because we need social cohesion. And if everybody acted in their own interest and only cared about being attractive as a means of being accepted by society, you wouldn't have productive living.
Sayonara.
So it's not supposed to be a reason. So we all have to live within the reason that like like this. And we have to believe that the society cannot last.
Just the boost I need.
I don't give up so easily.
Almost everything on the planet is designed to do.
This should keep me
Society
safe.
keep existing if every man just prioritized that. So we have to kind of shame this behavior, but at the same time, the man is absolutely right. Now, about the meth part, that's probably his biggest
Their team's
criticism.
capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Out of sight.
You're mine.
This will do now.
The god of thunder!
My hunt continues.
Success, but one thing that a lot of people don't want to admit is that this age, a successful drug addict is a good time. And so socially, they do very well with a lot of young ladies.
Why can't I hit anyone? That's crazy.
And so, like, you see a lot of these young men watching this guy like the Victor, and there are older guys trying to criticize him. And a lot of these young men
Damn it, never fall!
You almost got it.
motherfuckers. Heal me. Heal me! God bless America. You're just jumping around, Deadpool. Shoot me. You got guns.
For the things that he's doing to actually affect his life, and when that starts to happen, the consequences, it's not
You've
gonna be
captured
good.
more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
You can't deny that it's effective, and there's nothing that they're telling young men right now that's as effective. And it's not going to be.
Bitch, get the fuck out of here, man.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Double KO.
Nope.
I mean, dude, like, that's a level of confidence I guess I could respect.
He's just laughing at this guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really not my place, or, you know, in no way.
I'm just a sword for hire.
People in the chat
This is all so much bigger than me.
and say, oh my god, you know, this guy's doing it terrible by, you know, doing it all the time, and, you know, it's
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You know what I mean? Like, if this guy wants to rot his life away
You.
doing dumb shit like that,
You're the hunter who took me captive and delivered me to the collector.
I'm simply saying that I don't give a shit. Okay? Because you made that decision. Nothing anyone, you know, myself or anyone who's got to say to you.
I'm certain it was you. I saw you through the eyes of my wolf.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
But there's a reason why you should never have this stuff legal in society, because these are the two types of people where shame doesn't work on them. It probably actually makes them want to do the thing more, because sexual intensity can increase when people feel shame with what they're doing. So like,
Looks like we got it.
You have to make your reasons tell them you're not. That's what it is.
Looks like the mission area is now.
Out of sight. Step aside.
Capture the mission area.
How they owe me? Alright, he just shows me all the time. How we lose it if 2 people owe me though? Like, what are we doing?
My light cannot
And
be
where's
snuffed.
Daredevil?
I just like hang out with my friends, like work, do all the. No, like I'm busy all day talking out of all my like.
Ah, he ain't in the back.
No, I don't.
Filipinos.
I don't.
Out of sight. You're mine. Here they come now.
I am ready to put on a show.
Where are you at, healers?
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Young and guys want to kind of be around her.
You ain't got me. Y'all just watching. Like, what are y'all doing back there?
She'll learn later even though you don't see them right now. There's a lot. You're selling something that you don't really value at this age, that as you get older you realize it was actually priceless.
Control seized. Control lost. Control seized.
Out of sight. And so your story ends.
Double KO.
There you go, Daredevil.
I require some aid.
How she see me? That's crazy.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
That's crazy. I was super visible, but she was tracking me.
This is like a goal line for any woman who's serious about doing this line of work, and I'm not a kid.
Stand your ground.
Never do this, but I'm already in that industry. Keep it out. This guy up.
Control
Heal!
Let the devil out!
Shoot me, man! You're right there.
Reborn once more.
Don't ever buy any of this shit. So anyway, I think that should be all of the questions, unless you had a closing thoughts.
Yeah, we're perfect man. Perfect man.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
But you do know that, right? That you never once actually talked to her. He hires people to do this. But isn't that, did you know that, or is that something you're just now realizing? You knew that.
Like trying to hit Cloud to stop
Irritating,
breaking the barrage. She wants to keep this guy in the Genjutsu forever. And Cloud is breaking the Genjutsu, the barrage. He's telling him the truth. And it's funny because he's saying that he already knew that he was never talking to him. These guys, I can't understand it. I can't understand these types of guys. I can understand the lady. She's selling it. She feels like she's going to make a bunch of money. She's addicted to money and she wants attention. I can understand Cloud. Very similar thing. I cannot for the life of me understand this guy right now. I just couldn't understand. I don't understand it. At the very least, you could spend like 1/10 of the money and actually get like a real woman that would actually physically touch you. So it would make more sense to you. I just don't understand this.
So you're literally talking to her together, right?
No, we talk all the time.
But isn't that, did you know that, or is that something you're just now? In 1989,
Okay, Kylie, what made you wanna...
A man with blurred face said on television that the United States government had 9 alien spacecraft in its possession. Then, inexplicably, this man asked the station to remove the blur because his life was already over, essentially. This man is Bob Lazar, and if you've kept up with any of the alien UFO disclosure stuff over the last
I gotta remember
long time, since 1989,
quick match. Just gotta chill.
definitely heard his name. But just because you may know his name, I would bet that you don't know the full story. For example, by the time Bob had said this on television with his face blurred,
well, there are several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs that are out there of extraterrestrial origin.
His first wife had been dead for 3 years. She was a convicted murderer, 15 years older than him. She died of carbon monoxide poisoning in their garage 2 days before Bob famously married his second wife. There was no autopsy. Bob Lazar's college degree came from a school that the federal government was prosecuting as a diploma mill the year that he graduated. He also filed for bankruptcy, and the next year he would plead guilty to felony pandering for running a prostitution operation out of a Las Vegas apartment complex. So logically, by every standard of credibility, you should ignore the pimp fireworks salesman. The problem with ignoring him is that what he said in 1989, in 35 years, none of his claims have been fully disproved, and some of it has gotten less easy to dismiss, not more. Things have come through over time. Now it's Jones' situation, but enough of that. This video is about Bob Lazar. It's a video about a man that you should not believe, and about why there's a cult of people who do anyway, including, in a lot of ways, me. I believe a lot of what he says. I'm gonna go down on it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go right down on it and do that shit. Suck it. I'm gonna go right down and suck that shit sideways. Is that a weird way to intro a video? This starts in Las Vegas, the year of our Lord, 1989. In the spring, a man walked into a Vegas television station and told the news director that he had a story to tell. The station was
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Well, let's go.
Sent him to George Knapp, KLAS's chief investigative reporter who spent the previous decade covering organized crime in Nevada, which is very dangerous because it's kind of like...
I tear through the cloudless night, just like the moon.
Knapp had won many regional Indies for his casino reporting and had never covered a UFO story in his life. You could say that he was a legit journalist. You could say he was very credible. The man had been introduced to Knapp through John Lear, the son of the inventor of the Lear effect, and former CIA contractor with long-standing connections with UFOs. Lear was a known figure in the UFO subculture and not...
Caution guides me.
But he was
Always in the right direction.
Coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
not brought a stranger to a work reporter without a good reason. So the blurred man told Knapp that he worked at a hangar called S4 in the desert southwest of Bloom Lake on what he described as a 9-covered alien space station. S4 sits inside the Nevada test site about 15 miles south of an area that is on the shore of a dry lake bed called Papoose.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Knapp's first
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
A gift from Khonshu.
On May 15, 1989, KLAS aired his first interview with Bob Lazar. But at the time, he gave the name Dennis because his face was
Easy, man. That's 2 for 1 right there.
The moon haunts you! I've come back from far worse than that. Judge! Jury! Executioner!
Or a dagger. There's still a chance to stop them.
Is not widely distributed. The bus drove south towards Goose Lake, which is a dry alkali flat south.
Needed that, thanks.
Civilians called Area 51. And I know about aliens. And I also know...
Get up there. Bruh! You can't
ventilation is built into the mountain.
Get
the hangar
up,
doors
my
are built at an
fist.
angle commensurate with the slope of the mountain.
The hangars, he said, had been designed to be visible from above. Satellite passing over Goose Lake would just see a hillside.
If you get really close, you can see the track. Yeah, well, yeah, we drove right. Yeah.
Inside one of those hangars, he said,
Very much.
Fancy seeing you here.
Battlefield medicine. Thank you very much. That turret is absolutely absurd.
We are undefeatable.
You said something about lifting the one, and it was all smooth, like it had been a wax casting or something. Yeah, exactly.
It's out of three small landing pads with very close
A gift from God. Your powers are mine! The moon hunter!
The only one you looked into, or was the other one?
Khonshu, what's
How's
over me?
Squad doing though? Come on, y'all. Kill somebody.
different in appearance, but he wasn't shown enough of them to say exactly what they were. The one that Bob was showing
Hey, thank you very much.
And the one you looked into was up at Fort House?
Judge, jury, executioner! Judge, jury, executioner!
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Balthazar said was that the sport model ran on antimatter. The reactor at the center of the craft said used a small amount of a specific element to generate two effects simultaneously. One was antimatter annihilation, which produced the craft's electrical power, and the other was a gravitational field that surrounded the craft and propagated outward. Lazar was specific about how the gravity worked. He said, it's not a gravity generator, it's a gravity amplifier. He described the reactor itself as the power source, saying, the antimatter reactor provides power for the craft. What he meant, I think, in his telling was that the craft didn't make gravity. It took something that already existed at the atomic level and just cranked it up. He said the gravity wave existed inside heavier elements and normally stayed inside the atom. The element apparently that produced this
Pick your
effect, he
hero.
said, was
Or
atomic
villain.
level.
I'm not judging.
Lazar's later telling, element 115's strong nuclear force not behaving the way that it did in lighter atoms. In lighter atoms, the strong force binds protons and neutrons together inside the nucleus and is just contained there. At 115, he said that the field extended past the atom, so the reactor's job was to focus that field, amplify it, and direct it as a gravitational wave. He said that he held a piece of the element and described the piece as a small wedge, heavier than it should have been in size, form, and touch. He did not claim, however, that the United States had synthesized it, meaning the 115 was found inside the craft, not made by Lazar or anyone that worked with Lazar. It's aliens.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
On roughly 223 grams of element 115
Those
in the
tiny
craft.
arms of
So the
yours
total
aren't
stockpile
gonna touch my
of element 115 was 500 pounds. In 1989, Balthazar said this, element
I guess the
115
teeth
did
make
not
up for
exist
it.
on the periodic table. Okay? Very important. The heaviest element that had ever been synthesized at that point was element 106.
The battle starts in
Seaborgia,
5,
named
4,
after Glenn Seaborg,
3,
the chemist who
2,
discovered plutonium.
1.
Also,
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Half-lives measured in minutes.
It took us a long time to learn that our powers are related.
9 numbers heavier, let alone one stable enough to sit in your hand, just at 500 pounds up was, in the consensus of physicists now and then, pretty grand.
Found me someone to fight. What are you aiming at?
Capture the mission area! A little help, please.
In the 1989 KLAS interviews, Bob Lazar said he was master.
Huh. Let's go, y'all.
One's in physics, one's in electronics.
He said his bachelor's degree was from Pacific University class of 1978, and his master's degrees were from Caltech and MIT.
You are nothing!
Where we at? Come on, healers. Y'all gotta push up with me. Be on point.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Here Lazar said he received it, the subject of an active federal criminal case. The case was U.S. magistrate.
It's kind of laggy, though. Hold
01, Central District of California. Charges nailed to Texas with the Pacific University.
Disarmingly handsome.
The squirrels get the win? Really?
Basically,
Eyes over here.
so that's where we're going to see next, and the MIT registrar has a
on. Y'all kill that motherfucker. You fat, brother.
Gonna blow this joint sky high.
The notion that the government wiped the civilian records
Always
clean
glad to help.
is absurd.
Capture more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Say that it does. The Los Alamos National Lab wrote it in 1992. Understand the Los Alamos doesn't start way back.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a
Fantastic! What are you aiming at?
Y'all hear you, boy. If y'all don't kill this motherfucker. How y'all not killing him?
Enemy in front of us.
K/M stood for Kirkmeyer, a contractor that supplied technical staff to Los Alamos. But then, in 1989, when Stanton Friedman called Los Alamos to verify Lazar's employment claim, Los Alamos said they had no record of it. But by 1989, the Bob Lazar UFO story was also national. So, there's they say they had no record of him, but there is record of him.
30 seconds before you attack. Get
So
ready.
that's kind of interesting. And George Knapp had a question in regards to that.
How many of those
Los
mystic
Alamos was
portals
saying
of
there was
yours
no
can you
record.
open at once?
How did the Los Alamos
I'm not sure I feel comfortable divulging that information without first understanding why.
With apparent institutional
Tiger
access.
Division could
So,
use a way to
after that
mobilize our
question,
agents on a
Knapp
global
wrote
scale
to
at
Los
a
Alamos to
moment's
inquire further.
The battle starts in 5,
She got a letter
4,
back. The letter was
3,
from Diane
2,
Benitez, public
1.
information specialist at the
All
Los
you need to
Alamos
do is
National
capture the mission area.
She wrote,
Got it?
No personnel records on our personnel
I'm glad I brought along an extra deck of cards. You guys checked in?
So, Los Alamos did not say Bob Lazar never worked there. He said he was not his own employee. He was, as the booking record suggested, Los Alamos
How y'all letting him get away? Where y'all at? DPS gotta finish him.
which sounds so cool, but it is great. No such clearance level exists in any unclassified Department of Energy or Department of Defense documentation. The word majestic in U.S. UFO history is in one place, a set of documents called NJL, FBI. You know what else the FBI determined to be a Democratic purpose? Stanton Friedman, who called Bob Lazar a fraud,
Got your back.
it's very confusing, to be honest with you. The more research you do, the less clear it becomes.
Y'all
It's kind of
going,
these
no
hacks
tank,
aside.
just running in there.
For once,
Alright.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I put a lot of effort into staying on top of my health. I work out, I eat pretty well, and every single day I take a massive stack of one thing I've always loved so I
What are you aiming at?
in-person or telehealth video visit, whatever works for you. Those appointments happen fast, typically within just 72 hours of booking.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Go to zocdoc.com/infoville to find and instantly book. That's zocdoc.com/video
They've almost got it.
man.
California aerospace manufacturer.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
That is where they met. She was 15 years older than he was, and on July 27th, living in Springs, California, they got married. She was 3 years past the prison sentence for second-degree murder, and she was 21 years old. By the way, second-degree murder is killing with malice. Basically, you meant to do it, but you didn't think about it for very long. It's not premeditated. First-degree murder is...
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
For 6 years, they were married. Balthazar moved through the early 1980s as the Los Alamos moniker described it. So you get card ID 2. The encounter he says he had with Edward Teller, the physicist who fathered the U.S. hydrogen bomb, happened in June of the same year. By the middle of 1982, Balthazar
Can't win a ranked game.
He was, by every account, a young man building experimental projects on credit and on his own enthusiasm. A pattern that 4 years later would end him in a bankruptcy court. Anyways, back to the marriage. Balthazar's account of the marriage in later interviews is that Carol was unhappy and that she was ill. There are no contemporaneous public accounts that document either claim, to be fair, but what is in the public record is that
Very
by the start of
annoying.
1986, Bob had started seeing Tracy and Bert. And then, on 1986, Bob did something. He married Tracy Merck at the We've Only Just Begun wedding chapel in Las Vegas. He was on that date still legally married to his first wife, Carol. That's bigamy. I don't think you can do that unless you're Joseph Smith. 2 days later, on April 26, 1986, Carol Lazar was found dead in the garage of the home that she shared with Bob at 1933 and Greta Street, Las Vegas. And the cause of death was carbon monoxide poisoning. She began recalling the closed garage and died from the fumes. The case was referred to the Clark County coroner and given file number 001423-86. No autopsy was ever performed. It's pretty tough to track. The coroner did note that rigor mortis had already begun to dissipate by the time her body was found. That means that she had been deceased for hours before she was found. Bob Lazar's account of his wife's death in interviews then and since is that Carol was dying of pancreatic cancer and she had taken life. But no medical record of a pancreatic cancer diagnosis has ever surfaced, but it's also private knowledge. By the way, I'm obviously not implying that Bob Lazar killed his wife or that she was murdered or anything. It is just tragic, dramatic weight to this man's life that can give you either a sense to trust or distrust him. I don't know anybody who's had more crazy shit happen. 3 months after Carol's death, on July 21st, 1986, Bob Lazar filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Las Vegas Federal Bankruptcy Court. Case number BK8601623, in just case you want to look it up. The reason he signed on filing for bankruptcy was death of spouse. In the end of October 1986, Bob and Tracy were married a second time, but this time it was legally. His first wife is now dead, and the bigamous wedding was now a real wedding, and the bankruptcy had erased everything pretty much from before. And that would be one of the craziest things in this entire man's life if her husband hadn't, in the next 4 years, done all this other insane, crazy shit. So, back to 1989. Bob goes on television to tell the world about S4. In 1990, the year after he was arrested for the charge was that Bob Lazar had been proven a prostitute named Tony Bullock and was running her business out of an apartment complex on Tamara Street in Las Vegas called Newport Code. He maintained the computer records, kept the license plate numbers,
Pick your hero.
photographed
Or
clients at a
villain.
waiting room,
I'm not judging.
and pays 50% of the fees. That is all according to 50%? That's crazy, man. On June 18, 1990, Bob was pleading guilty to felony hindering.
My Olga is sharp. My
The ultimate.
mind is sharper.
On August 20th, 1990, he was sentenced to a 3-year suspended sentence with probation and 150 hours of community service, a ban from brothels, and 1 year of mandatory psychotherapy.
Man.
Just in case you didn't know, brothels are illegal in
Open
Nevada.
your eyes.
The Las Vegas
Reality
Review
is
Journal
but
has
an
reported
illusion.
the case the next day and referred to Bob Lazar
Hey, is
as
this competitive? We all trying to play DPS or what?
It's important to note
This is
Deputy
wild.
District Attorney John Lutkins told the Review Journal that there were no drugs
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
or coercion. So he had a pretty above-board sex prostitution ring that he ran out of an apartment complex.
All those crises I quietly put out, you...
Initially, one of Bob's defenses was that he was trying to help Tony, the first prostitute, modernize her business by...
The battle starts in 5, 4.
No one acts right in these things. It's wild. I need teammates.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
A lot of
I
Bob's
prefer
supporters
teams of
heavily
4.
rely
I can make this work.
embellish and exaggerate to discredit. A lot of people also say that this is not unique aliens and UFOs.
Get ready. Here come the bad guys.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. Capture the mission area!
These mechanical attacks are full. Constant. Power beyond sight.
Way to go, squad.
Oh, they do not look happy.
That's a lot of runnings. You got really interested in this guy. To be honest, on December 22nd,
Behind you.
Rory, how do I use that?
Got this team right.
The Bible Czar story is at minimum a story about what people will believe and nobody's flipping over in practice.
Pentagram of Quran.
Our sour dummy.
I am strengthened for that.
The other guys whose number died from Red Bull.
Power beyond sight. Bionic magic.
Died in May of 2009.
It's Q&A time!
Good medicine.
He had a master's in nuclear physics.
An unseen assist.
Classified nuclear aircraft propulsion program for General Electric.
Glad to help.
This guy
Heads up. Hostiles.
spent the rest of his life walking into archives and registrar's offices and field detecting claims. He believed the 1947 Roswell incident was real. He believed the United States government had recovered the plane.
God of thunder.
Cause y'all just stay put, quit chasing these assholes like that, man. I gotta go win this shit back. Y'all chill.
Scientists leave trails.
This is so
What does
stressful,
that
man.
mean to the layman? Well, luckily can elaborate. There's no published papers, no co-authors, no thesis committee, no qualifying exams. Nothing lone wolf science. Treatment investigators.
I am strengthened for my way. Power beyond sight.
They're winning, but you still got a chance.
Oh my god! And why weren't y'all pushing? There's 3 of them in there. There we go.
But it's pretty exciting. I want to see more. So
The
far,
mystic
everything
arts
seems
won't
the
fail
same
me
shit
again.
We've been seeing for the last couple of years. There's been absolutely nothing new, even remotely interesting. It all just looks like the same old bullshit or weather balloons. And show me some aliens, dude. Show me some stuff. I want to see the real shit, man. Nothing
All
that
those
makes me
crises
believe
I
Bob was
quietly
more
put out,
than if it
you
was
have
just
no
real. And by the
idea.
way,
I can't win a fucking game, man. Come on, fuck faces. I'm getting so irritated.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
there's not a lot of evidence, but like the stories are interesting.
The ancient arcane deities you battle. Have you ever found it peculiar how closely they resemble the creatures of the deep?
I have noticed the similarities, particularly when ensnared in their tentacles.
Should you ever encounter one you cannot defeat, perhaps I could communicate with you.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Queen, mother, perfection.
Anyways, back to statement 9. There's one detail that matters more than any of the
Enemy in front of us. Good medicine.
Come to me, man. Come down here.
Truman era briefings on a classified U.S. government program that covered crashed alien aircraft.
Nothing here.
The mission area is yours to capture
Go, one of you DPS, go to the back line, Preston.
The most credentialed UFO researcher in the country
There you go.
believed the documents the FBI called a hoax, but rejected the live human witness who described S4. And a lot of what Bob said about S4 is also kind of true.
Enemy in front of us.
Things points to Bob not
I am strengthened for battle. Nothing here.
35 years. Going again and again in public, roughly every 4 seconds. He told the story on Larry King Now in 2019. He told it in Jerry Corbell's 2018 Netflix documentary called Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers. He put it on Joe Rogan in June 2018, which is the most viewed episode of Joe Rogan's podcast of all time. And it was green. And he told it again on Joe Rogan last month.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. It's spider time!
By the eye of Agamotto, the moon haunts you. By the eye of Agamotto, the moon haunts you. The Sorcerer Supreme lives once more.
See the thing, I don't know if I'm allowed to use literal footage from the documentary in this video without getting sued because it's so recent, but I tried to find the evidence online. Those matters also presented a set of graphics allowed to use a real model, the reactor at its center amplified element, Teller in 1982, Tesla in December 1988, and Ingram intercepted.
I was fucking flying. Feet weren't even on the goddamn ground.
Their team's capture progress is past the halfway point.
Pentagram of Corral.
It's possible for someone to lie in the exact same way for their
Good medicine.
Show me that shit.
assist.
That's not nothing.
Be ready for that.
I am strengthened for battle.
And also elements like
Us against the world.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Ionic magic. Power beyond sight.
Now, where it differs from what Bob Lazar said is that the isotope.
Shit, we got it together. All right. Shit's it. Let's go.
The longest-lived isotope
I need a W, y'all.
has a half-life of about 650 million.
The time entanglement is a vexing problem, even for the Sorcerer Supreme.
115 that was stable enough to hold in his hand across a desk for hours and not kill him or blow up or explode, but rather
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
No documented isotope of Moscodium synthesized.
Your idealism refreshes a battered old soul.
There's a published
You can't be
theoretical
that
model
old.
of the island of
Astral
Siberia,
projection
which
makes
certain
me feel
heavier
old.
isotopes of certain transuranic elements, including 115, should be substantially more stable than the isotopes that have been synthesized so far. Specifically, isotope 299
The battle starts in
Moscodium,
5,
which has not
4,
been synthesized,
3,
is theoretically
2,
predicted to have a
1.
half-life.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
That is still not stable.
Trust has its price. My debt is deep.
The physicians they call that impossible. The category is no longer impossible. It is in the open peer-reviewed literature and
Look who's here.
but it's out. So that obviously goes on. But also,
Good medicine. By the eye of Agamotto.
Y'all come on.
The mystic arts won't fail me again.
The story was titled Glowing Auras, Black Money. Pentagon's
Good, we
mysterious
on that
UFO
fine.
program. The program
I
is
just
called
run up in there.
AAT,
Hold it down.
Advanced
Hold it
Aerospace
down.
Threat
I'm coming.
Identification Program. It existed since 2008. The Times confirmed that the United States Department of Defense had been running a classified program to study unidentified aerial phenomena for 9 years that the public had not known about. On April 27, 2020, the Department of
Man,
Defense
they about to come in with some ults. They're grouping up.
aircraft go fast, showing unidentified objects within the
Good medicine. Power beyond sight. Here is an enemy. Behold the god of thunder!
You captured the mission area. Keep going.
They folded. Readjusted, they folded.
Ionic magic. The eye of Agamotto assaults.
headline finding is that
I am strengthened for battle.
Pick up your toy. Victory is almost yours.
Defense Authorization Act, which is the annual military funding bill, and the amendment is Senate Amendment 797.
Us against the world.
Power beyond sight.
Keep fighting until we have a winner.
The moon haunts you.
This is crazy, because this is what the conspiracy crazy people have been saying since true. Alright guys, ever heard of Bourne Secret? How about the Department of Energy? How about Stone Cold?
Another epic victory!
They collapse.
Those abs of that skin doesn't mitigate Bob Lazar even remotely, okay? But it is really interesting. And what has changed is not only more about our story, what has changed is what it costs us as a culture to consider the question of whether or not it's even possible.
Okay, we win competitive, you get up vote for me.
That is not from this.
Y'all adjusted. Y'all pissed me off that first round.
The
Come on,
question of whether the U.S. government had recovered an alien craft is the province of TV whistleblowers and ufologists. Insane crackpots. The craziest of the crazy people from history, American history, the classics. Oh, you believe that fucking the government shot Kennedy and they killed MLK and that there's aliens? Literally every single one of those conspiracies that has been a conspiracy for the last 80 years, they're all true now. They're just all true. So is it really that crazy to believe Bob Lazar? Is it really that crazy when we're witnessing in real time a massive cover-up that dwarfs Watergate in regard to the Epstein files? The president's wife doesn't even believe that there's no co-conspirators. It's not that crazy to question these things, and it's not that crazy to believe that this guy worked at these places in the reverse engineering aircraft.
that was a good one, right?
Crazier shit has been covered up.
Y'all right, boy, man. Niggas not
The cult of Bob Lazar in 1989 is not the cult of Bob Lazar in 2026. The cult of Bob Lazar in 2026 is a lot more rational and a lot more supported by empirical evidence and disclosure and transparency, which is really crazy. The story has stayed the exact same in spite of everything. And the world around that story has kind of, in a sense, gotten a little bit more on the side of it being true. That is what allows me to even posit the possibility. I want it to be real, I really do. I also don't want them to cover anything else up. I want them to release all the JFK files, I want them to release all the MLK files, I want them to release all the Epstein files, and yeah, I think they're all even pretty much. To be clear, I am naturally fairly biased. I have a signed drawing of the sport model on the wall in my office. It was drawn and signed by Bob Lazar. I bought it from his website like in 2018 or 2019 or something along those lines. So when making this video, in spite of my natural inherent bias, I tried to be unbiased and cover as much as I possibly could and try to make as much sense as I possibly can. I don't know if Bob Lazar is lying, but I do for sure know that the government's lying about a lot of stuff. So I guess you can just kind of pick what truth you want to subscribe to. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, press the like button. Join the Gum Club for uncensored footage. And also, I'm in the Gum server pretty frequently, so see you guys soon.
week. 'Cause I really want. Sometimes chat be going funny in there, and I react to it, so gotta be able to see it.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
In 1989, a man with a blurred face said on television that the United States government had 9 alien spacecraft in its possession. Then, inexplicably, this man asked the station to remove the blur because his life was already over, essentially. This man is Bob Lazar. He kept up with any of the alien UFO disclosure stuff over the last long time, since 1989. You've definitely heard his name. But just because you may know his name, I would bet
I am the god of thunder and the mightiest avenger.
Bob had said this on television with his face blurred. Well, there are several.
It was on Earth that I truly learned what it was to become a
In
hero.
30 seconds. Stay strong.
Last game till I start playing later. I gotta pick something up.
My brother only sees beauty and control.
Second wife, no autopsy, Bob Lazar's college degree came from a school that the federal government was prosecuting as a diploma mill the year that he graduated.
The battle starts in 5,
Bankruptcy, and the
4,
next year he was
3,
guilty to felony
2,
laboring for running
1.
a prostitution operation out of a Las Vegas apartment complex. So
You need to
by
stop
every
that vehicle, you straight.
fireworks say,
How can they block me from flying? Like, I straight up flew out of there. I don't understand. I flew over it. This game, like, the blocks, the invisible blocks are crazy.
in a lot of ways, I believe a lot of things. I'm going to go right now. I'm going to get right down, suck that shit.
Y'all gotta come out of there, man! Y'all can't just fight in the damn tunnel, you die. If you see me pushing, y'all push out. Damn. It's that simple.
What battle can continue without Thor?
Now you chilling.
Shielded from harm.
Come on.
News director sent him to George Knapp, KLAS's chief investigative reporter who spent the previous decade covering organized crime in the bottom.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
And And he didn't even, I'm swinging, he didn't even swing out of there. I don't understand. Like, you can't fly? He didn't even try to fly.
Battle can continue without thought.
That keeps you from flying?
Lear was a known figure in UFO subculture and not, on his own terms, a credible source. But he was connected and was the kind of person
The wrath of Asgard.
Where's my fucking heel? Shark!
The lightning of Asgard returns.
6 weeks listening to man on May 15th, 1989.
It is real life.
Time, he gave the
Awaken the rage.
Heal me. Where's our other goddamn healer? Why are you up there fighting?
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
something at the test site too. And by
The
November,
time
the station
entanglement is a
decided to do
vexing
something that
problem,
under no other circumstances
even for the Sorcerer
have done it.
Supreme.
I play DPS.
With the permission of Bob Lazar,
Y'all want me to. Let's go though.
face its real name on the screen. Lazar later said the unmasking was his idea.
I am strength for battle.
What the hell?
Was that everything that Bob Lazar described to him
Y'all don't see Dino by the spawn.
Mystic
Come on,
arts
y'all.
won't fail me again.
Awareness.
I think that's just someone who thinks shit. The first time Bob Lazar said he
Don't
went to
give
S4
them another
in December
inch.
of
Or else.
What's S4?
I like the color.
Maximum pulse!
The current score is
Lazar described
0,
the route to Napa
2,
in detail.
3.
Carrying to Indian Springs by
Time to
car,
switch things up,
Indian Springs to
including
the
which
test site
side
by
you're
bus.
on.
Taking the bus to S4 by a specific road.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Open your eyes.
Well, obviously,
Reality
he's not
is
on any
but an
public
illusion.
document. Napa road did exist.
Hey, yo, let me DPS. They're flying around. All you gotta do is shoot them out of the air,
Was
man.
not widely distributed.
I'm not a
Bus
hero.
drove south
I'm
towards
the Punisher.
Lake, which is the dry alkali flat about 15 miles south of Groom Lake. Groom Lake is what civilians call Area 51.
Unless they switch up
Civilians
now.
like
They
you
might be
guys.
just that
I
good.
call it
Who
Groom Lake
knows?
because I'm awesome and I know about
Round
aliens.
2.
And I also know
Do we have something else other than Jack's place?
that the Moose is the lake that the measured proximity
Like
of the
suits,
Lake and the
like
bus
invoice?
stops
Or
on the
Gambit?
hill on the western edge of Cutler's Lake. And there were hangars built into the side of the hill. 9 of
30
them
seconds
in a
before you
row,
attack.
each having
Get
a
ready.
sloped front that matched the angle of the trailer.
You cannot say
The S4 installation is built into the mountain, and the hangar doors are built on an angle commensurate with the slope of the mountain.
The hangars, he said, and designed
Last I checked, we was both fighting for
satellite
good fight.
passing over Goose Lake.
Whatever, but I swear, Lobo, if I find any of my weapons missing after this, simmer down.
4, 3,
Inside one of those
2,
hangars, he said,
1.
was
You said something about you looked into one and was all clean, like it was going to last for gas.
Yeah, exactly. It's out on 3 small landing pads with very big stuff in the back open on the underside about 4 feet. And a single chair in the center, small enough that the dog can hold itself.
Enemy's got so much firepower.
To be clear, he never came.
Need assistance.
Now I'm getting mad.
That is the part of the story he's been the most consistent about for 35 years.
Was that the only one you looked into, or was the other one
Step lively or locate it all over at once. Out of sight. That'll be ready again. Got a full deck.
And the one you looked into was up at Fort Marty?
Yes.
And that's the only one you thought
bullshit.
Bogeys incoming.
But this is also the part where some physicists at the time.
If y'all don't fucking heal me, man.
I'll meet my family. Not today. Leave them to Kaishu.
Antimatter annihilation. Electric power. The other was a gravitational field that surrounded the craft and propagated out. Lazar was specific about how the gravity worked. He said,
I'm good to go.
He described the reaction itself.
Out of sight. Judge, jury, executioner! Magneto!
Maximum combo!
Inside the element apparently that
Hunkering down. Out of sight. Thanks for the ride, big guy. All curious.
Inside the craft, not made by Lazar.
Damn it, never more!
Program ran on roughly 243 grams of
Back for another tour.
What is this challenge taking?
Final score.
1989, when Bob
0,
Lazar said
2,
this,
3.
element 115 did not exist on the periodic table. Okay? Very important. The heaviest element that had ever been
Well, you
synthesized
can't expect to win them all.
106, Seaborgium, named after Glenn Seaborg, chemist who discovered propulsion, most of the transient elements known then had half-lives measured in minutes or less. The idea of an element 9 numbers heavier, let alone one stable enough to sit in your hand and just have 500 pounds up, was, in the consensus of physicists now and then, pretty fringe. And the specific gravity wave mechanism that Lazar described had no theoretical basis in any published physics journal. There was no atomic gravity wave, no strong force generated, no antimatter reactor that could be carried inside a craft 30 feet wide. Physicists who heard Lazar's account in 1989 called it bullshit. Impossible. Called it impossible in 1990. Still calling it impossible in 2000. But in 2003, something had changed. Not in Lazar. The story is the same, but the world is describing something that's changed. And what is that? Well, we'll get to it. Because everything I've told you so far is what Bob Lazar said in 1989. Now I have to tell you who Bob Lazar was when he said it. You get the full idea of where this guy is coming from and why there's such a argument, such a controversial figure this man is. Is he alive? I don't know. In the 1989 KLAS interviews, Bob Lazar said he had 2 master's degrees.
2 master's degrees. One's in physics, one's in electronics.
He said his bachelor's degree was from Pacifica University, class of 1978, and his master's degrees were from Caltech and MIT. Stan Friedman was the first guy to
Well, I gotta go.
check him. Buzzkill. Friedman, you see, was a